So I've just watched this episode of Face Off on the Matchroom Boxing YouTube channel. It's been uploaded, so in case you want to check out for yourself, you can find it there. It's only 15 minutes long. It's not particularly long, detailed, or even insightful. So yeah, I just figured I'd give my thoughts on it, a quick review, as I did with the Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn one, which was, over a month ago. For my money, that one was more entertaining. I didn't find this one to be a worthwhile watch, really. I don't think we really learn anything. I got a couple of laughs out of me, Dillian Whyte, with his kind of cheap trash talk. He said he was going to punch the dreadlocks off of Jermaine Franklin's head and made fun of Jermaine Franklin for wearing a Slazenger tracksuit. Yeah, it was all very silly, which we kind of expect from these episodes of Face Off now. Yeah, it was really just back and forth. I lost count of how many times Eddie Hearn said, are you going to beat him? Are you going to beat him? Are you going to knock him out? Are you going to... I feel like this probably would have been a better episode if it was presented by Ade. I'm not sure if Hearn is up to the task of running these face-off episodes. But yeah, I know some of you guys are going to be watching this, maybe trying to get some insight into the mindsets of both fighters going into this fight. We're only a few days out now. I didn't really see anything too alarming or even that significant, to be honest. Dillian Whyte was his usual self, very confident, very bullish, looking to basically stamp his authority on the fight before the fight, if you want to call it that. And that's, what you come to expect from Dillian Whyte. He's not someone who ever really shows much anxiety or many nerves. He's very confident, very headstrong, and that's definitely one of his strengths, because he does have some quite considerable physical limitations in terms of athleticism and technique, but he's very headstrong and he's got quite a potent character when it comes to these fights, these conflicts. Jermaine Franklin, this is the first time I've actually seen one of his interviews before, or him talking to the camera. Not much, not really the biggest talker, not particularly charismatic. Just kind of comes along as the average American fighter, to be honest. He seems somewhat confident. When I look at his expression, his demeanour, kind of see him as being a little bit nervous. I don't think he's bottled it or anything. I don't think he's intimidated. There's still time for that to happen, don't get me wrong, but yeah, he just seems like a little bit glassy-eyed, a little bit nervous. But then I'm thinking, okay, nerves themselves aren't necessarily a bad thing. Some fighters actually need a bit of nervousness to get the sharpest performance out of them. But maybe because Franklin's not used to the kind of media promotional obligations, that he's just out of his comfort zone a little bit regarding that. But once he gets in the ring, he'll be, well up for it and firing on all cylinders and shows no sign of capitulating. I don't know. I'm just trying to gauge his character and his demeanour based off on this. And yeah, a little bit nervous maybe. You can kind of see it here, but there's a decent size advantage in favour of Dillian Whyte. I don't know whether it's the clothes he's wearing or whatever, but he does look to be a fair bit bigger than Jermaine Franklin. So not that this is a technical breakdown, that's going to come in a couple of days' time, but for the most part, yeah, you could probably get away with not watching this one. As I say, it wasn't the most entertaining or insightful watch by my money. I don't know if Hatman or Chris or G-Man will be able to pick anything out, based on the psychology, that kind of perspective. Maybe they can, who knows. But for me, yeah, not much in this one. I definitely felt that the Eubank Jr. Conor Benn one, as I say, was a better watch, more entertaining watch. However, I do have to give credit. This episode here between Dillian Whyte and Jermaine Franklin, the editing was much better than the Eubank Benn one. The Eubank Benn one, I touched on it in the review I did of that. The editing was just so choppy, and it really it just completely removed the organic back and forth feel of like normal discourse, whereas this one was a much more natural, flowing kind of conversation. I think in the Eubank Ben one, there were clearly parts of what they had said that had been cut out, and it was very distracting, very kind of off-putting because it just seemed so unnatural. Whereas this one wasn't overly edited. You can see they got the very dramatic black and white filter. You can't see in the background other than some faint outlines of the security, so it was very dramatic. But you have this dramatic backdrop, and then Dillian Whyte saying silly things like I'm going to punch the dreadlocks off this guy's head. So yeah, look, check out for yourselves if you want to. If you have seen it, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And what do you think of this fight? Personally, I'm quite looking forward to this. I think Saturday, this card, this main event, and the two, I guess, chief support fights, I'm looking forward to them. I think it's going to be a decent night, an entertaining night. It's not the highest level boxing, but it doesn't always have to be. There's fun to be had at this kind of level of boxing. So yeah, I didn't really take exception to anything the guy said, other than Dillian Whyte talking about how he's hurt every one of his opponents, even in fights that he's lost. I disagree with that. I think I don't remember Tyson Fury even taking any meaningful shot from Dillian Whyte. But look, that's a minor. I'm nitpicking. Check it out for yourselves, guys. If you've seen it already, let me know what you think in the description box below, the comment section below, and I'll get back to you. But for now, what do you think of this fight? You looking forward to it like me? And the rest of the card, anything you want to talk about, leave it down below. I'll get back to you. But for now, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next video.